y quiero hacerlo en el nombre de nuestros socios en todo el mundo. Y cuando Lidia me invitó a este evento y me pidió hablar a este evento, me pidió hablar de un tema que es el futuro de la comunicación comercial desde un punto de vista internacional. Y me dio 15 minutos para hacerlo. Es un gran desafío, pero haré mi mejor expresión. Y déjame empezar con un reality check. El 80% de las marcas creen que entregan experiencias extraordinarias a sus consumidores. Y en realidad solo 8% de los consumidores está de acuerdo. A la mayoría de las personas del mundo no les importaría si el 73% de las marcas desaparecerían mañana. Solo miren a su alrededor. Las marcas están criticadas, las marcas están atacadas. Los consumidores tratan de escapar a la publicidad. Mientras que nosotros, anunciantes, soñamos de un mundo digital donde los consumidores dialoguen con las marcas. La realidad es que tenemos un problema y tenemos un gran problema. Por ahora, déjenme continuar en inglés. Siento mucho que mi español no es bueno, aún no puedo continuar en español sin que les dé un mal de cabeza. And I would like to talk to you about Project Reconnect, which is an initiative which WFA took 2 years ago. Project Reconnect tries to do two things. One is to better understand what people want and expect from brands. And two, it is to help marketers better align the marketing strategies with what people expect. Very simple, very noble, but very challenging. So the question we were asking ourselves is, what will define best practice marketing in the future? And we asked that question to industry influencers. So people working in marketing, people working outside of marketing, but people which have a strong view, which are influencers. And we did that in partnership with We Are Social, a social media agency. And we led a conversation with 25,000 people through social media networks. And we had lots of very deep and very rich conversations. And I will share with you the outcome and the conclusions for us. 3 themes came back constantly in those discussions. And those 3 themes, we have called them now the new 3 P's of marketing, the 3 P's of the future of marketing. 1 is purpose, 2 is principles, 3 is participation. Propósito, principios, participación. Purpose, the first P in the new 3 P's. Our first learning from what we heard from people is that purpose is more compelling, more important than a product. That may be shocking for many marketers, but that's what people tell us. Product differentiation in many categories is increasingly difficult and does not sustain USPs, does not sustain a competitive advantage. Increasingly, people expect us to talk to their heads and to their hearts, to build on a rational approach, an emotional appeal. And if I had to summarize it in a word, it is to move in terms of mindset from making better things, producir mejor cosas, to making things better, hacer las cosas mejor. Okay? Make things better overall, not only focus on the product. And the people mentioned us spontaneously 4 brands which they think get it right on purpose. 1 is Body Shop, which most of you will know. They have a long time fight against animal testing. 2 is Seventh Generation, maybe you don't know. It's a US-based company which is focused on sustainability and conservation of natural resources in everything they do in terms of products. It's household cleaning products. The third one is Patagonia, which you probably know here in Spain, which is a company which is very much focused on getting it right in social and environmental behavior. Protecting human rights, climate change, workers' rights, waste management, everything they do needs to be sustainable. And the fourth one is Tom's. Can I ask you, who of you have heard of Tom's Shoes? Just a quick question. Who has heard of Tom's Shoes? Okay. Next time I come back, I will ask the question. I think it could be 2/3. Tom's Shoes is a very simple idea. In 2006, an American entrepreneur went to Argentina, and he lived in Buenos Aires in some very wealthy neighborhoods and saw people wearing alpargatas, and he went to very poor neighborhoods and saw children without shoes. He came back to the US and he said, I'm going to be building a business very simple. One pair of shoes bought online in my business, and I will offer one pair of shoes to people in need. Very powerful, because a pair of shoes allows children to go to school, to get proper education, to be protected from viruses, and etc. And that is the model of Tom's Shoes. When he started his e-commerce business, after 3 months, he had orders which were 9 times higher than his total stock. So that was Tom's Shoes. Now, that type of purpose can work for one category, but if it is strong enough, it can work across many categories. And in the case of Tom's Shoes, that has now extended to coffee, to bags, to eyewear. It has become a much bigger business.
Everything we do at Tom's starts first with recognizing a need. Over the past 7 years, we have seen one consistent need almost everywhere we go: lack of clean drinking water.
I fetch water for times a day, which is from my family. We use water to cook, to drink, and to bathe. Without water, there is nothing.
We started thinking about a product that could service this need. We did it first with shoes, then with eyewear. Now we're going to do it with coffee.
I have found this land for over 35 years. Coffee provides everything for my family. I hope that my coffee can provide many more things as well.
By entering the coffee industry and doing things different, we are going to provide clean drinking water to the communities where the coffee comes from.
Everyone should have clean water, which is very important. Clean water makes me very happy.
The reason Tom's is so excited about getting into the coffee business is because we can make a huge impact. And I think that is something our community is really going to celebrate.
Now, every brand doesn't need to be saving the world. You can be a brand with a purpose and not save the world. Fabulous case study of redefining the perceived limits of human potential. There's another great case study I'd like to show to you, which is called Golden Block. It's about letting them build stuff, letting them invent and shape the future of the world. And you know where the idea came from? It was a female engineer graduate in Stanford. And she felt there were actually only men around her. And the statistics in engineering are very simple. Worldwide, 86% of engineers are male, 14% are female. And she had in mind this vision: I want to actually make it possible for girls to ultimately bring their innovation and their talent to the world. And she had this idea of creating toys which would encourage girls to play and build and innovate. And when she went to see toy companies, they all told her, you know what, it's actually a great and a very noble concept, but it's not going to sell. So she built her own company. And she actually, within 3 months, ran out of stock, managed to get actually her parts into all the Toys R Us in the US, and even won a startup award which gave her a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl. So an absolute huge success. And clearly, it's not limited to engineering. It's all about empowering girls to play to their full potential. Now, the second P is principles.